Trump administration continues to escalate military activity in the Caribbean. The U.S. has seized an oil tanker off of Venezuela's coast that the Attorney General says was involved in an illicit oil shipping network that supported terrorists. Joining us now is NBC's Alice Barr from Washington. Alice, what do we know about this operation at this hour?
Yeah, good morning. This is something that is really sharply ramping up tensions with Venezuela against the backdrop of what we've already seen, strikes on boats, buildup of military presence in the area. And then yesterday we got this announcement from President Trump, followed shortly by video released by Attorney General Pam Bondi that shows elite Coast Guard forces, that's according to two U.S. officials, rappelling out of helicopters and landing on a massive oil tanker off of Venezuela, executing what Attorney General Pam Bondi called a seizure warrant. The president again confirmed that the U.S. had seized this tanker. He said it was the biggest seized of its kind. And the Attorney General says the tanker was transporting sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran, part of a, quote, illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. It's not clear really where the oil on board was headed or exactly what happens to it next. President Trump said, quote, "We keep it, I guess," and then kind of added, "I don't know." So that part of it remains a little bit unclear. But the Venezuelan government certainly is seizing on the idea that the president at least said that the U.S. would keep the oil, and claiming that his ramped up pressure campaign against authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro is in fact about the country's rich oil reserves instead of drug trafficking, which is what the Trump administration has said that they're focusing on.
And the administration also possibly ramping up by expanding this fight into Colombia. The president talking about that. And are we hearing anything from Congress yet about how they're going to respond?
Yeah, so interestingly, beginning with Colombia, the president said that that would be where he would be setting his sights next. And he said that that country's leader had been hostile to the United States and should watch out because he could be next. He didn't get into specifics about, what that might look like, but certainly speaking about expanding what has been a war against drug trafficking into neighboring Colombia. And the reaction from Congress has been bipartisan concern about a lack of transparency of exactly what is going on here. There's been, of course, a lot of questioning and concerns about these strikes on boats. And now the House has passed a $900 billion defense bill that includes added provisions about Venezuela, including cutting Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's travel budget unless he gives Congress unedited videos of the strikes on alleged drug boats. And it also gives Congress more oversight on military action, as we've been seeing that continued buildup of U.S. military presence around Venezuela, and the president has suggested that he may move this campaign onto land.
Well, any more from Venezuela? I know their government has called this an act of international piracy, but are they saying anything else beyond the verbal jabs?
So they have said there was a statement that came out on behalf of the Venezuelan government that, yes, as you said, called this an act of international piracy, called it blatant theft, in fact, as well, for the U.S. to have seized this oil tanker. And in that statement, there was reference to appealing to all international courts, again, without getting too specific, but a reference that they may do something to try to prove what they're saying, that this oil tanker was taken in incorrectly, which of course the Trump administration disagrees with, and perhaps in some way try to get it back.
International waters, multiple countries. What will Congress do? A lot to watch here, Alice. We know you'll stay on top of it. Thank you so much as always.